Yo, 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 what's good, YouTube? What's good? Stormybman, and I am back. Want to say Merry Christmas, first of all. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa. You know, I don't want to leave anyone out. Just want to wish everyone a wonderful day of rest, peace, as you take time out with your families and everything. This is me coming out here just doing business with the community of reaching out and letting you all know that all of you are in my thoughts as we have we're coming close to the end of the year, and I thought I'd just come on and talk a little bit for those who were willing and looking to connect today. I know that there were a number of brothers who did do streams today and brought their shows on the regular, you know, and Stormybman is just doing his part to stay connected. It's been a wonderful time this past year, as the 18th of December marked my year anniversary in producing content for the YouTube and LDBC boxing community. I just want to say it's been a great experience, and I hope that 2020 brings even more. The sub count, my target that I was looking for toward the end of the year was at least 400 subs, and I made that and then some. And I just want to give a round of applause to everybody that supported me in this venture, and for those who actually helped push me over the target goal. We have big plans for, I want to give a special shout out to 78 Sports TV and Black Fight Fan for the support that they've shown on the air, recommending my channel and my content to the community. It's been great for the brothers to extend themselves in that manner for me, and it is duly appreciated, and it's another reason why I'm out here. Another reason that I'm out here, because I'm trying to do my part. So I titled this stream 2019 coming to its conclusion in boxing. We still have some fights coming up this weekend. Tank Davis is going to be taking on Yuriorkis Gamboa, and it's a pretty good fight for Tank at this time in his career. A number of people feel that Gamboa is beyond his prime, but he's still a dangerous fighter with his experience and his punching ability. So it's something to be considered when you're talking about these guys coming together this weekend. I look forward to this fight. It's a decent fight to end the year on, and there's always a chance for something else happening on the undercard as well as in the main event. So with all of that being said, I want to welcome the people who are out there in the channel. It says we have about 7 viewers. We got 4 likes. I'd like to match the likes with the viewers. If you guys wouldn't mind just smashing the like button. We got St. Cruzin out there who said Merry Christmas. I'm with family, but he's checking in. Appreciate you, St. Cruzin. Tyrone Smith is out there, says salute. Merry Christmas to all you guys. Thank you, Tyrone. Same to you, brother. And Young Merv the Cut Man says salute, Stormy B Man. Salute to you, Young Merv. Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens has joined us. He says salute my people. Salute to you, Reggie. I really appreciate. I want to take a moment and give a special shout out to Reggie Owens, because Reggie has had some situations take place on his channel, but he has always elected to give support when he can to my channel. I want to give a special shout out to Reggie Owens, Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens, for his support and helping make my channel grow to be what it is. I really appreciate his efforts. I just want to take that time out to say that while I got him out there in the chat and over the airways. Just recognize that and give it credit to where it's due. I couldn't do the things that I do without the assistance from the community. And there's much love coming from Stormybman to all of you who have supported me like that. Appreciate that so much. But yeah, this year has been a year of tremendous activity in the sport of boxing. And maybe this coming Friday night, when I do the Friday night chop session, we can go over and have a year-end review. I was gonna do that tonight, but then I said no, because it's still too soon. But I felt like I wanted to have boxing talk and boxing conversations. So this is just kind of a open mic kind of a deal this evening. Like I said, reconnecting with you all, just talking. You know, we could talk about a few things that have been in the news. We can talk about some things that have passed up to this point. One of the things I wanted to open up with was that I heard through some boxing news. I had been reading different, stories out there and everything, and to touch lightly on this guy, Vergil Ortiz Jr., welterweight, young up and coming guy. He's 15-0 with 15 knockouts, 21 years old, and a throwback, because as much as we have heard the term Mexican style lately in the sport, starting with that Triple G, okay, he wanted to say that if he were to define his style of boxing, he would consider it Mexican style. I actually think that's an insult coming from a fighter like Triple G, but this conversation right here is not about him, but it's about a true Mexican who has a variety of talents when it comes to boxing, and his strengths are his youth, his technique, and what he is showing in the ring. Vergil Ortiz Jr. is showing himself to be a prodigy in the sport, a face to be looking out for in 2020. He recently, after his last match, has started looking up the ladder toward more veterans on the horizon in his future. And if he has his way, hey, if he wants to shoot for the stars like that, who am I to deny him that opportunity? The name that he has dropped that has kind of made the record stop, the needle on the record stop, is Keith Thurman. And I remember when Keith Thurman was in that position, when Floyd Mayweather was the champ, the WBC champ in particular, and Thurman was coming up the ladder, and he was looking at Floyd as the man that he could make a name for himself with. Floyd was the man at the weight at the time as well. Though Thurman is not the man at the weight, he just lost to a veteran who's going to be a legend in the sport by the time his career comes to its full completion. That's Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao defeated Thurman earlier this year, and he displayed a lot of what he has shown in the past. Fast hands, fleet of foot, a combination puncher, and if you're not on your game, he can put you on your behind. All of which he just put on display when he faced Thurman this year thought it was very interesting, the fight with Pacquiao and Thurman. I picked Pacquiao in that fight to be victorious, but I didn't know the fight would play out exactly like I thought it would. And even seeing Thurman on the canvas as early as the first round, I thought that would be very interesting. I don't know if Thurman looked at Pacquiao as a fighter who was just past it because of his age and just didn't think that Pacquiao would be as much of a threat as he proved to be. But with a veteran fighter like Pacquiao, you would definitely have to be aware. He didn't go through those other fighters as he did being a lucky guy. Even Floyd offered up that Manny has the experience and guile to set certain types of traps because of his experience. And Thurman didn't listen. Thurman didn't listen to what you could be seen on tape if you studied Pacquiao. He just thought, being a younger guy, thinking he to be a physically stronger guy, that would be all that he would need. Well, it proved wrong. So if a young fighter like Virgil Ortiz is now looking at Thurman as a name that he's willing to take on in his near future, there must be something about Thurman that doesn't place him where certain people looked at him in the past. And I would have to agree with that. We got Sheldon Holmes out there joined us. He said, "Merry Christmas, OG Stormybman in chat." Merry Christmas to you, Sheldon Holmes. Appreciate you stopping in just to hit the like button and, saying Merry Christmas. If you want to stick around for the show, that's fine. But I understand a lot of people are spending time with family and friends and whatnot. Stormybman has done that a little bit today and just looking to provide some more content. D-Style Boxing is out there. He says, "What's up, Stormybman? What's up with you, D-Style? I was listening in on your show while I was putting things together for this show. And, man, I love G Funky's rendition on Mr. Guerrero." Dude, he is hilarious doing that. Don't you guys ever stop, man. That's some great stuff. But I also like the content that you've been dropping, and your award show was quite amazing. That was good work, man, and good acknowledgments for the guys out there that have been doing their thing. I hope to make your list one day, D-Style. I'm working. I'm trying, hoping to get better and to put myself in the thought process, of being considered for something going forward. So, but much respect to you for what you did. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about it. I tuned in myself, really enjoyed it. And I hope that 2020 is a bigger and better year for everyone out there that produces content and that can be in line for consideration for your prestigious award show. Appreciate you, bro. So, yeah, I'm doing some different things too as I look toward 2020. And one of the things I would like to do is put some feelers out there, which I'll probably do right after the first of the year, to see the audience, the listening audience that Stormybman's channel has, and what would they like to see more of from Stormybman, because being someone that can provide that which the people want, that's kind of important towards surviving. But that's not the primary focus. The primary focus is to bring quality content, whether people are liking what you're doing or they're not, but just to provide something that's a little bit different, not to give you something that's stale, that's something that's repetitive. You know, I've tried to be creative in my own way. Even like as you see me here on my show this evening, you know, I got a little music playing there, talking to you directly and making it a more personal conversation. That was one of the things that I had intended from the very start. And I've gotten more and more comfortable talking to you all like this because you have shown me that you've received it well. So that interaction and the reciprocated activity between us as we do these shows together, it proves that that's a quite effective formula. And I like to improve upon that. So we got legendary Top Cats out there. He says, Merry Christmas, OG Stormybman. How did you like them fancy shot glasses? Hey, legendary, it's all good, brother. I was listening to you, man, and I was driving at the same time, so I couldn't do a lot of texting, but I appreciate what you was doing, man. It was so funny, and as you heard me say, it's all good. Those glasses did get filled, though, brother. I want to let you know. The wife is upstairs about to fall out, sleep. But, yeah, I appreciate that, legendary. Appreciate you very much. And he says, Merry Christmas to the chat. D-Style says, appreciate your support, Stormy. No problem. And he's saying, Top Cats, what's up? And Legendary saying, peace, peace, D-Style. I'm still drinking, family. Do you, Legendary, do you, brother. Well, I appreciate you stopping by for Stormy's channel, man. You've been a supporter. Legendary, I want to say something to you too, brother. I want to say thank you for the support that you've shown me through this year. Like I said, December 18th was my year anniversary. And I think I went back and I was looking at some of my original material that I created in the very beginning. And Legendary, you were one of the first brothers to leave comments on some of the material and content that I dropped early on. It was very crude. Camera was shaky and everything, but you left me some very positive messages on some of those early pieces that I put together. And I just want to say thank you for your support, because you've been there from the beginning, bro. Guys like you, yourself, and Laws Dawkins, you know what I mean? Brothers have been really supportive, and I appreciate that. That's why it's always good to take a look back and reflect upon your growth, because you can see the people who were really there. And I like to give people their flowers while they're alive. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I, give the credit to brothers like you, Lost D, Reggie Owens, D-Style Boxing, who I've become acquainted with in this third quarter of the year. And D-Style has really been supportive and helped me. He's invited me on his channel and everything. That's great stuff, man. And I try to reciprocate it. You know what I mean? That was one of the reasons that I created that show, In the Eye of the Storm. In the Eye of the Storm is a show that is designed for you, the people who are content creators and channel operators out here in the boxing community. And every time you guys who are viewers, I want you to know that when I do these shows and have these guests on there, that's what it's about. It's about the community. It's not that show is never about Stormybman. This show right here, like I'm doing this live stream, this is me talking to you guys. But when I do the In the Eye of the Storm, it's about bringing and drawing out that talent and putting it on display for the listening audience, the viewing audience, to let you guys know, if you haven't checked these people out, they're to be featured, they're to be seen, they're to be supported. You know what I mean? So that's what that's all about. And to all of the brothers and sisters that I've had on there so far, I hope that they can convey to the others who haven't been on there that it's a wonderful experience, because it gives you a chance to let the people know about yourself, about your channel, about how you cover the sport of boxing, what your position is, how you like to present, what your presentation is to the people. So there's strength in that. We're talking about community and unity. You know what I mean? And that's what that's all about. That's what that show was born of. And it's sincere. You know what I mean? There's no ego. It's just we hope to come together and do it. So that's what that's all about. Legendary says, facts, OG, I remember. Yeah, man, I remember too. I remember. And I go back and I look at that content. We got Kurt Anderson in the building. He says, at Stormybman, salute. What's good with you, Kurt, man? Appreciate you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you and your family. Hope everybody's good. And Kurt is also a brother out there who has helped me behind the scenes and on the airwaves. Kurt was one of the people that helped me get on channels and let my voice be heard by the masses. You know what I mean? And it's like just a guy going from making comments and support in the chats to coming on and being able to share my ideas, my position, and everything in perspective when it comes to the sport of boxing. So I'm glad Kurt is out there so I could give him an on-the-air acknowledgement of that. And I appreciate everything you've done for me as well, and helping to present me to the community. So much respect for that. And the others, Top Cats is saluting Kurt, and Kurt is saluting Top Cats. So yeah, man. But back to Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz, if he's able to entice Thurman, and I think that's not going to happen, but not because of Ortiz. I believe it won't happen because of Thurman. If Thurman has any desire to get back into the thick of things, taking a fight against that young prospect like that is dangerous. And it's something that he could lose a lot. He could lose his position. He could lose financial paydays if he takes a step back in taking a fight with this young man and losing. Because I'll tell you, a fight like that and a fighter like that would present Thurman a whole new assortment of problems, because Manny was a little fast for him at the age of 40. What's it going to be like for this kid that is 21, and who can fight already? I mean, he reminds me of Ricardo Lopez. Now, if you guys don't know who Ricardo Lopez is, please go into the YouTube vaults and pull out some of his fights. Though he was very small in stature, the man had all around pound for pound ability in the ring. And he was an overlooked fighter who often fought on Don King undercards, and a champion who went undefeated. Ricardo Lopez was so much of a fighter that had he been a little bit bigger, he could have rivaled Julio Cesar Chavez for that audience that got behind Chavez. He was a better fighter than Chavez. He was just too small to compete with Chavez. He was around that flyweight, bantam, flyweight, whatever, those lower weights like that. But he had a lot of knockouts, and he was a real good, technically sound fighter. Corner Girl 66 has joined us. She says, good evening at Stormybman and chat. Corner Girl 66, good evening to you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. If you celebrate the Christmas holiday, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody, but I appreciate you taking time out on this day of acknowledgement that people who spend with their family. Thank you for stopping by the Stormybman channel. Appreciate you. Legendary is speaking to Corner Girl, and Corner Girl is speaking to Legendary. Yeah. So this fighter, Virgil Ortiz, his knockouts have come in different ways, variety. He's not just punching guys and getting them out of there. He's breaking them down. He's working the body. He's placing his punches very well. some of that same acknowledgement that people give Earl Spence Jr. for being an offensive fighter, a lot of that is reflecting in Mr. Ortiz Jr. He's doing it, and he's doing it the right way. Some people may think that a fight with Thurman is a huge jump, but it's not really that huge, because young fighters like that who are capable, they should shoot for veterans who have a name, veterans who have experience, veterans who give and provide them something. Like if you defeat that guy, he sort of passes something on to you as you graduate to that next level. So that's something I would definitely like to see, and I commend him for wanting to do that. But it's a long shot that Thurman would take that fight. John Lejeune says, I feel bad for the little guys that never grew taller than 6 feet. You don't have to feel bad for them. You do realize that Tommy Hearns really wasn't 6 feet. Sugar Ray Leonard wasn't either. Mike Tyson wasn't. You know, there's a number of fighters. Chavez, who we just mentioned. Pernell Whitaker. Meldrick Taylor. You know what I mean? James Toney. Roy Jones Jr. You know, a lot of these guys are not 6 feet. Even some of them who were listed as 6 feet were not really 6 feet. Kurt Anderson says, Ricardo Lopez was undefeated as an amateur and a professional. Yes, sir, Kurt. What a fighter Ricardo Lopez was. And you've heard me, Kurt, talk about Ricardo Lopez before, when a lot of people out here on these channels don't even mention him. And shout out to D-Style Boxing, who had that show recently about the best Mexican fighters. Because you know, D-Style, if you're still out here listening, brother, that Ricardo Lopez was a guy that I dropped his name several times during that show. So much respect, because I do pay attention to the fighters. As I said before and many other times, Stormybman is not just a fighter who has love for a fighter. I have love for the sport. And when you know that there's so many talents out there that don't get the shine that they deserve, Stormybman is a guy who will reach into that ballot box and pull those names out. And brothers like Kurt Anderson and Scrapbook Boxing, they do the same. Because a lot of people like to live in the moment, but you can't understand what's happening at the moment if you have no knowledge of what has happened, transpired before, and have no understanding about what could happen in the future. That's something that you all should definitely take solace in, especially when you got a person like Scrapbook Boxing, who has a wonderful channel out there and who can provide the history and the backstory on a lot of those fighters who have come before, who you know today. Kurt also says, Thurman really messed up his career with the layoffs. I mean, his momentum is gone. Absolutely, Kurt. Stuck in quicksand is his momentum. It may even be on reverse, because the loss to Pacquiao, he doesn't really realize what that did to him. He may think of it as, you know, he underestimated Pacquiao, and that he could, you know, actually get back out there and get that back. But as Marvin Hagler once said, you know, it's hard to get up and run and do all the things you have to do for boxing when you're sleeping on silk sheets and in silk pajamas, huh? And since he been over there studying that Kama Sutra with that lady, you know, Keith Thurman might just want to sit it out, man. He may just want to sit it out. And there's nothing wrong with that, because if your belly is full and your nut sack is empty, there ain't no reason to come back into boxing. No reason whatsoever. Gil Coles is out there. He says, salute Stormybman. Were you talking about Thurman taking a fight with Bud? No, Gil Coles. We're talking about Virgil Ortiz Jr., the young phenomenon that's 15-0 with 15 knockouts at welterweight, and is 21 years old, is looking at Thurman as an opponent in the near future in 2020. he would like Thurman on his hit list. That's what we're talking about currently. John Lejeune says, but Stormy, this is a combat sport, and I'm a combat veteran, and I would rather take Deontay to war with me than Pacquiao. That's why pound for pound is a fabricated list. John Lejeune, what is that coming and where is that coming from, bro? We were having a discussion about Virgil Ortiz taking on Keith Thurman. I'm kind of confused where you're going with that. We can probably come back to that subject if you want, but that's taking me off of what we're talking about. Huh? I spoke about Pacquiao defeating Thurman because Victor Ortiz would like a shot at Thurman. That was Thurman's last opponent. Hyphy is out there. Salute, Hyphy. He says, Stormy, no love for Andrade, though. Best boxer alongside Crawford. Maybe. But I don't give him that credit because he hasn't stepped up beyond those second and third tier fighters that he's been fighting. If he threw his hat in the ring with the Billy Joes and the Charlo and the Jacob, we could see what happens. But I don't, Mr. Andrade has had a lot of layoffs as well. And he may be going the other ways as well, too. Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens says, shit, I think that Lady Drone bounced on Keith Thurman. Where's she at? Maybe so. Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens. I told you, that brother done opened up that Kama Sutra, man. He's over there burning them incense, playing them flutes, emptying his nut sack. He ain't got nothing left right now. He got to get hungry again. Sometimes when a man crashes to the very bottom and he realizes all that he's lost and that it is work ahead, the road ahead and the path ahead is tough. You can't just turn it off and on, especially if you're that guy who has become somewhat content that you want to drive. You're living in the house that you want to live in. You got the woman that you always wanted. All of those things lead to less and less of an appetite, unless you happen to be just a greedy son of a bitch where you say, I got all this, but I want some more. Huh? When you say you want some more, you're gonna go out there and work for some more, and you feel like your due isn't given yet. That's why real champions, they find a reason to keep fighting. That's what they do. You have to give yourself some kind of motivation. You can't just go out there and make it up. You have to do it in a manner which you say, hey, this is why I fight. John Lejeune says, my mistake, sir. No, John Lejeune, I'm not coming down hard on you, brother. Don't think that. Stormy ain't trying to be a mean ass like Scrooge on Christmas. I'm just saying that's what I was talking about. I wasn't necessarily going into, the other weight classes and things like that. But this is open mic. This is open mic. We can talk about some things. Now, I think that, well, let me get to this. Gil Coles. There you go. I forgot. Gil Coles, that's his man. Keith Thurman. So I done said something that struck a fire in him now. He says, Thurman beats Ortiz. Merry Christmas. Well, listen here, Gil Coles. Before you start playing a tune on that flute, let's see it. Huh? I don't know if Keith is hungry anymore, man. Now, you still may go to the beauty parlor with him to get his ponytail braided, But just because he looked the same don't mean he is the same. It ain't what's on the outside, brother. It's on what's on the inside. Remember that. Hashtag play the flute on that. Merry Christmas. Ramsey Sutton III says, peace to the chat and salute to the LDBC. Salute to you, Ramsey Sutton III. Appreciate you, bro. Smash that like button as you come in there. Yes, sir. Now, I want to get back to John Lejeune's comment where he said, this is a combat sport and I'm a combat veteran and I would rather take Deontay to war with me than Pacquiao. That's why pound for pound is a fabricated list. Fabricated. There, you know, John Lejeune, there's a lot of, what do they call it, inflammatory in that remark you made there. We can break it down a little bit, but let me say this first of all. As a combat sport and as a combat veteran, Deontay Wilder, the heavyweight champion of the world, there has been nothing that have shown us yet if Deontay got knocked down, would he get up and could he finish and this and that. He got shook up, you know, in the Ortiz fight. And this is not a slam or a slight on him. But we do know that Manny Pacquiao has been knocked out and it didn't stop him from fighting. He's been cut. It didn't stop him from fighting. He's actually been outboxed and it didn't stop him from fighting. You understand? So Manny, regardless of what you think about his size, John Lejeune, Manny is a warrior. He's a warrior. You know, if you don't think so, during his next fight, where he's training, you could go in there and tell Freddie Roach that you spar him, you know, to prove that he ain't really a warrior and combat ready. And we see what happens. Huh? We'll make sure that someone from the LDBC be there to film you on the canvas. But hey, you know, there you go. Gil Cole says, first quarter of 2020, the return. You mean the perm? Because he ain't returning no time soon. Did you guys see him on that Inside the PBC when he was standing up there talking and stuff? The dude's shirts and stuff was so tight on him, he ain't even bothered to buy larger sizes, man. Thurman is probably weighing 190 pounds plus by now. And he ain't ready to trim it off yet. Curtis Anderson says, I got Jaron Ennis over Virgil Ortiz because of the footwork. It's my crystal ball. Yeah, Kurt. Now, Ennis is someone, but remember, Kurt, we were talking about Virgil calling out Thurman. I ain't heard him call out Ennis. You know what I mean? So that's a whole different story right there. But a lot of them brothers up there at welterweight better be watching out for Jaron Ennis. Young talent is really going somewhere. Scrapbook Boxing has joined us. He said, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Stormybman, salute. And salute to you, my brother Scrapbook Boxing. Appreciate you, bro. And happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you guys. I hope you're doing well with your family. And I was talking about you. Your ears must have been burning because I was talking about you just a moment ago, Scrapbook, about how people need to go to your channel if they want to learn something about the history of boxing. So, you know, you got all these people out here, they making up stuff in their mind without even understand what's happening with the sport, man. John Lejeune says pound for pound is reserved for one fighter and one fighter only, Sugar Ray Robinson. Well, that was the case, but they've continued to have pound for pound ratings and such over the years. So it's for everybody. Hell, I'm in the pound for pound. I'm over a few pounds, but I'm in there. Yeah. And Scrapbook is saluting Curtis. John Lejeune says, Manny is a warrior, but I can't take 135 of seriously. Really, John Lejeune? Let me ask you this one question. Could you take Bruce Lee serious? And I would like you to write an answer in the chat. Scrapbook Boxing says, Merry Christmas to the chat. And Ramsey Suden III says, the reperm. He's laughing. Yeah, there you go. Ramsey, that's what I should have said, the reperm. Thanks for having me on backup for that for Gil Coles. Hyphy says, Porter don't get a Crawford fight. Kings don't chase peasants. No tech. Yeah, man. That's listen, Hyphy. That right there, if you notice, I'm kind of staying away from that. Because I am so pissed off at Crawford for what I heard, and what I heard was he didn't want to fight Porter, but Porter is open to fighting him. That's a duck. Let's see. USA versus UK boxing says, sup with you. USA versus UK. Who are you? And John Lejeune says Thurman is too empty in the balls to get in the gym and put in work. Well, you heard me say that, right? Didn't I? I said his sack was empty, huh? That's what it is. That woman that drew all that life force out of Keith Thurman, all of it. He's getting more into his inner DeBarge, than he is going out there to fight, as a champion anymore. So he might be singing, have an album coming out pretty soon. John Lejeune says, my apologies for the derogatory comments. Hey, I didn't take them as derogatory, but I did ask you, do you consider Bruce Lee, a warrior or not, as a 135 pounder? Because that's exactly what he was. And I said I wanted an answer written in the chat, but you didn't do that yet either. John Lejeune, I'm getting on your case, brother. You're going to be on Stormybman's list. And I do know how to roast. So get the skewers ready. Gil Cole says, isn't Earl going to need a tune-up fight when he comes back? Put Thurman in there since he's so weak. His shirt was tight because he was hitting them weights. Listen, Gil Coles, you know damn well Keith Thurman ain't been hitting no weights. He have been hitting the dinner table though. Matter of fact, he probably been laid up eating sausages and grapes and stuff. That lady been feeding him all that stuff, man. Them pâtés and shit. That shit puts pounds on your ass. That's what it is. And he ain't been nowhere near a gym. He was out there passing out stuff for Christmas holiday, but he wasn't in no gym. John Lejeune says, that's not a fair question. Laugh out loud. USA versus UK boxing says, that is a fair question. Hyphy says, it's no duck and me prove it later. Okay, Hyphy, if you got something. USA versus UK boxing says, just a boxing fan, my bad. Okay, no. It's like I'm saying, who are you? Because you was saying, sup, like I knew who you were. But that's okay. You're welcome. Curtis Anderson says, that hunger is gone and it's not coming back. That's right, Kurt. Tell him, man. And tell him why it ain't coming back, Kurt. John Lejeune says, I answered. Yay, you think that was an answer? Okay. You guys are a trip, man. You are a trip. Gil Coles is laughing. Yeah, buddy. Gil, I'm going to tell you something. Earl got a better chance at meeting Keith Thurman at the buffet than he got at meeting him in the ring anytime soon. I mean, Earl could be running past the buffet and look through the window and see Keith in there. He ain't even got to be going in. But I guarantee you Keith going to be in there. And it might be one of them Indian Hindu buffets. Huh? Ramsey Sutton III says, waiting in the buffet line, lifting multiple plates and forks up to his mouth. Yeah, talking about, I still gonna come back. I want a rematch with Manny, with that lisp, Gil Cole says, pates, he's laughing. Yeah, Hey, John Lejeune says Keith Thurman is too busy getting his hair relaxed. And Curtis says, because he's a Harry Christener. I'm telling you, man. Yes, sir. USA versus UK boxing says, breaking news. Sources just confirmed that Keith part-time Thurman has suffered some cuts to his hair. Gonna need some time to recover coming back in 2025. That's it. That's about the size of it right there, man. That's about the size of it. I want to tell you, man, Keith did this to himself. Because there was a time when a lot of people thought highly of Keith Thurman. Like, oh, this guy's going to be a guy to watch in the future and this and that, right? He did it to himself, man. I wonder what it is about Earl Spence, though, that just made him leave the sport. Belts and all. He didn't mind them stripping him. He didn't mind losing. It's like all that I got an O and ain't afraid to let it go. That just left the man. I don't know what happened. But that, there was a time when he was like hungry, Now he's still hungry, but he hungry in the wrong manner. You know what I mean? Ramsey Sutton III says, Patty's sweet potato pies. Gil Cole says, y'all ain't right. Hey, man, you started it, Gil Cole. You started it. When you have a chance to go with a sure thing and then you go with Keith, you need to be taught a lesson, Gil Coles. A hard lesson. Remember, when you have a chance to go with a sure thing, but you go with Keith, you need to be taught a lesson. John Lejeune says, don't do that to me, Stormy. I wouldn't attempt to knock out Bruce Lee's headstone. My ass would get spilked. Hey, man, you could possibly get spilked by Pacquiao. Listen, man, Pacquiao can fight regardless of whether people like him or not. And this is not coming as a Pacquiao fan or a Pactard or anything. This is somebody who's assessed and made assessments of the sport of boxing and the talent that participates within. Pacquiao can fight. That's why he was able to go in there and whoop Keith Thurman's ass, because he can fight. Keith Thurman thought he was too old and all of that, past his time, got knocked out and everything, and thought he could just go in there and knock him out. And he running from a damn body punch. A body punch he running from. Are you serious? I'm telling you, man. USA versus UK boxing says whiplash. John Lejeune says, I heard Keith's boxing trainers have to call his speech therapist to get his ass in the gym. Nah, they just need to call that lady, man. That lady he married to. Call her and say, can Keith come to the gym today? And she's probably casting spells and shit, burning incense and shit. Keith is listening to them little chants and shit. Staying his ass at home. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yes, sir. I tell you all one thing, Keith better stay the hell away from that young kid, Victor Ortiz. If you thought Manny did something to him, Ortiz is going to do a lot worse to him. A lot worse. And he ain't going to get away from the body punches from Ortiz. Because Ortiz puts those punches together, cuts that ring off, and goes to work. Big time. Hyphy is out there. He's changing up the conversation. He says, me pick Lubin to beat Charlo in a rematch. It's very possible, Hyphy. I think that Lubin, by the time, if he gets a chance, a second chance to go at Charlo, it's going to be a different type fight. I don't know if it'll still be the same victor, but I would like to see it. At this stage, it's too early for me to give a prediction on that. I would like to see them signed and about to head toward one another before I start really looking at it like that. But I would like to think that Lubin has learned some things from his loss, has fought and picked up some greater experience, and would be more formidable going into a rematch with Charlo. I would like to think that. So yeah, that's what I think about that. John Lejeune says Keith Thurman should remake the Tyson quote. He was crying out there making female gestures. Yeah. It's really something when the sport shows you guys who could, turn that corner when they've made mistakes and had to pay for them, and can come back in a manner of which they are, more competitive. I would like to see Erickson Lubin have another chance at a title shot. I don't think he's ready just yet. Couple more fights and he may be right there to knock at the door again. Only difference is you got a bad man on that other side with those unified titles in J-Rock. J-Rock is a really good fighter. I like the guy. I like his attitude. His head seems to be screwed on correctly. And I can't wait to see him again. So, yes, sir. But yeah, Well, you know, brothers and sisters, I want to say that this has been a nice little talk, you know. But I'm going to go ahead and get ready to sign off of here. You guys have been great, kept the conversation flowing, and this hour has really passed by rather quickly. And I just want to say, you know, thanks to everybody that came out to listen to me this evening. We got a chance to laugh a little bit, touch on some things. And, hey, don't forget to tune in to the Friday night chop session with Stormybman. We'll have some things going on there, and we'll have an end of the year, you know, conversation on the sport. So I look for some of you to tune in, if not all of you to tune in on me then. And we can laugh it up, we can talk it up some more. And I'll have my man Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens on there. I'd like to, if Kurt Sugar is still out there listening in the chat, I'd like to have Kurt join us for the year-end show too. That'll be great to have his mind and his conversation on there to close the year show out. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you guys this evening. I'm gonna go ahead. We're going to allow someone else to come on if they got the time to come on and talk. I don't like to hog up the airwaves, so enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. Some of you, like myself, ain't going back to work until after New Year's, which that's great for me. So until we get a chance to talk again, Stormybman is going to say good night, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and see you soon. Peace out.